Hey, I'm Andrea Olson with Go Diaper Free, and this is me recording podcast number 86, Just Start. This is for those of you who have not started EC and don't know why, and this can be found at godiaperfree.com/86, iTunes, Spotify, or just watch it here on YouTube. Enjoy. Welcome to the Go Diaper Free podcast, where we're all about helping you potty your baby as early as birth. I'm your host, Andrea Olson, author and mom of 5 babies, all EC'd from birth, all out of diapers by walking. This is episode 86. Just Start. How to get out of your own way and start EC already. You can read the written version of today's show over at godiaperfree.com/86, where I will also conveniently link to all the things I mentioned in today's episode. I will also be replying to comments over there, so come on by when you're finished. So recently, I got on the phone with around 40 parents who follow Go Diaper Free on Instagram or Facebook, and I asked them a billion questions each. I was surprised at how many people had been following me, downloading my free guides, even purchasing my books and potties, but hadn't even begun EC yet. And they were not pregnant anymore. They already had their babies, but they hadn't started yet. So if you are sitting on all this information, but haven't gotten up the gusto to start EC with your baby, and you maybe don't even know what exactly is stopping you, this episode is for you. By the end of it, I hope you will feel empowered to just start. So let's start this episode by discussing what could be stopping you from starting EC with your baby, because if we don't know what we're dealing with, we cannot overcome it. So these are different stumbling blocks to starting EC with your baby. The first one is information overload. So if you're like my mother, you will read up on something and gather all the gear until you can't read up or gather any longer. And the sheer mass of information you've learned and stuff you've collected will have you frozen in your tracks and you will never start something. I want you to stop learning about EC, stop dreaming about it, stop everything and put this down and take that diaper off. Take your baby at the very next wake up. You have enough knowledge. Stop digesting and ingesting information and collecting inspiration, and just start taking action if this is what your block is. And then after you've stopped all that and started taking action, come back and geek out on some more information once you actually get your feet wet. The next one is the desire for perfection. A lot of the parents I interviewed, especially the mamas, said that they were so worried about effing it up that they haven't started EC yet for fear of failure. The thing is, you can't be perfect at EC. It's not built that way. It doesn't work that way. EC is a learning process. It is a long game. Most of our learning, unfortunately, in this long game happens through trip-ups and missteps. Guess what? If your baby misses, or in other words, has an accident, you learn. If you misguess, you learn. It is all learning. EC, it's also a feedback loop. I mean, it's a two-way street. And it's also a longer game than potty training. So trying to be perfect at it is a recipe for disaster, especially if that desire for don't try it unless you can be perfect keeps you from ever even beginning EC. Sounds crazy, but a lot of us have this exact block creeping up around in our subconscious minds. The next one is safety on the sidelines. Hello, reality TV. Hello, social media. I'll use my mom as an example again, and don't worry, she owns this thing about herself. So she lives vicariously through other people on TV and social media. And she constantly calls me to tell me how such and such is doing, even though she's never met the person. It is so much easier to cheer from the sidelines, isn't it? To coach or critique from the sidelines than to be in the game. So social media allows us to be voyeurs and never leave our safety zones. So does reality TV. I mean, I remember when reality TV began back in the 90s. MTV, anyone? And people became so vicariously fed through others' drama and mishaps, loves and follies. It was crazy. And it still is. Instagram influencers have us all worried today about the fact that our own homes aren't bathed in natural light with white and tan furniture, that our babies somehow magically never mess up, and that they've clearly had a shower and we haven't in days, when this simply isn't the case in real life, you guys. So back to EC. Watching from the sidelines is safe. It is equivalent to reality TV. Getting in the game is harder and less predictable. It is real life. And this last one is way more rewarding, real life. The next thing that could be blocking you from starting is this baby is so fragile and small. How do I handle a newborn? And, I feel like what I'm about to share is so controversial that it deserves a disclaimer. I'm not responsible for how you handle your baby. Do so with care, calm, gently, with respect to baby and her safety. Thank you in advance. End of disclaimer. Now I will tell you a quick story. I was in Ghana, West Africa, in a remote village back in 2000. I was 19 years old. Brand new newborns were strapped snugly to mama's backs with a 3-yard piece of fabric, and that is all. The moms danced so briskly and energetically that the babies' heads were bobbing all over the place, and I felt really worried about them. These same mamas and every mama in the communities, babies and toddlers, were also very mobile very early. Very happy. I never heard a single one cry in a whole month of being there, and healthy as a whip. I came away from that experience feeling that maybe newborns aren't as fragile as we think. And again, that's the controversial part. You can probably criticize my unscientific findings, and that's fine. With my own babies, I was taught early on not to be afraid to handle them. And for me, it's worked out just fine. They were all mobile early, healthy as whips, and very well cared for. So your mileage may vary. Again, be careful with your baby. Even if you don't buy my story, though, no worries. Most babies, over 99.9999% of human history, have been pottied from babyhood. Didn't soil the den or cave or hut. Didn't wear a diaper as a toilet. Babies, brand new newborns over human history have been pottied from birth. Yours can be too, and it's not going to hurt them. But more importantly, I want you to be courageous. I'm encouraging you to be courageous. Hold your baby gently, securely, and take a deep breath. Relax. Make the sound of shushing water, psst, or grunting, and know that billions have gone before you. Billions. Once you try it and pick up your newborn and potty him or her, you'll probably chuckle at how natural it felt to give your baby this wonderful bit of dignity and respect. Respectful parenting. Welcome to it. There is a picture of how to hold your newborn gently and securely over on the blog post. And again, that's at godiaperfree.com/86. I want you to look at this picture. It's basically, you're going to loosely hold your baby's thighs without holding them open. We're not like spreading their legs or feet. We are actually just supporting their weight, and lean their back and wobbly little head against the front of your torso. This is the classic EC position, point and shoot. It's a deep squat. You can even cradle them in the nook of your elbow instead of having them upright against your chest, and then hold the thighs and just sort of have that be where you're supporting their weight and aim and point and shoot. That's the cradled classic position, which is also shown in a photograph on the show notes at godiaperfree.com/86. The next block, I'm an over planner. I mean, the stakes are high. So if you are the type of parent who read 13 books while pregnant and still Google every single little thing that veers from normal, and you've got developmental toys stashed away for ages 0 through 4 for your newborn, this is for you, honey. You can't plan for everything. The stakes aren't that high. You're not going to screw up this parenting thing. And EC will teach you the beautiful art of letting go and going with the flow. It's a humbling, empowering, and informative journey. The next block is overwhelmed. Why add one more thing? If this is you, quote, I feel so completely overwhelmed with all the things I'm supposed to be doing as a new mom or dad. I am afraid adding one more thing would break me, end quote. If this is you, you are so not alone. But the newsflash is EC takes the overwhelm out of being a brand new parent. It helps you know your baby on this other level that actually informs everything else. It provides a rhythm to your day. Another piece of the mysterious puzzle. Where is the handbook for this new baby? A point of deep connection. A great conversation starter with your baby. And it really helps you focus on the very few things that matter the most. Is my baby eating, pooping, peeing, and sleeping enough? EC is like half of that. I've heard so many moms say that they felt way less overwhelmed with all of being a new mama once they started doing even very, very part-time EC, which leads to the next one. Part-time with diapers. And this is not a block, but this block is, you don't even know that you can do it this way. I don't even know if I have to say it after saying it so many times in the past, but you can do EC part-time with diapers as a backup. This is exactly how most people do it. You can use the clothes and diapers you currently have and do EC successfully. You can do it so part-time that it might feel like you're not doing anything. And that could make getting out of diapers by 18 months a piece of cake. You can do just the poops every day. or just the wake-ups every day, or the before and after daycare parts of the day, only when they're at home with you. It all works out in the end. Trust me, if thinking EC has to be all in, no holds barred, 100% full-time, no diapers, any of those things in your mind, you have been misinformed. Do it your way anyway. If that's part-time, with diapers, whatever it looks like, do it your way. That shouldn't keep you and block you from doing EC or starting it, even starting it, right? And by the way, about daycare, that can keep people from starting it. Why would I put all this investment into doing this if I'm just going to be sending them to daycare soon? Well, let me tell you, if you do it super part-time, just before and after daycare, you probably won't even have to potty train, or just very little, like our super successful part-time EC episode as well, a few episodes back. I mean, seriously, that should also not keep you from it. It doesn't have to be all in, full-on perfect. And the last block, and OMG, what will people say? Please, if this is you, do EC in private if this is what's keeping you from starting EC. Be like what I like to call a closet ECer. Then when your child is completely done with diapers, or when you're completely over this fear, come out of the closet, tell the world, yell it from the mountaintops, and enjoy being the bearer of good news to people who need it. Okay, now that we've discussed what could get in your way, if you didn't already know, let's talk about the easiest way to begin EC today. Because once we rid yourself, your subconscious, of all this shadowy blockage stuff, all the stuff I just named, you can truly begin EC without so many unknown barricades that could trip you up from who knows where. Okay, the easiest way to start EC with your baby. Take the diaper off. There you started. This may sound funny, but it's what one mama I interviewed told me she was told when she posted about her apprehension about starting EC on an EC Facebook group. Truly the very best advice I've ever heard. Take off the diaper. There you've started. Next thing I want to say is open it up, see what you can see. This is what that advice giver meant. That advice giver meant once the diaper is off and you've started, you can bravely look at what's been hidden from your view since your baby was born. You can begin to look for signals, feel less worried about having that diaper off for more than a moment while you change it. You can start to get the hang of your child's natural potty timing, stuff like that. Next thing is get into the mindset, the diaper paradigm shift. What is this diaper for? Well, when you start EC, it quickly becomes a backup, whether you're doing it 24/7 or for whenever you're not actively doing EC at all, like when you miss each other, when you're making dinner and can't possibly look out for signals or signs while cooking, or for when you're in the car or baby's sleeping. For those times when baby is whipping through developmental milestones like it's no thing, and that is all they're focused on. Times like that, that's where the diaper is a backup. When you start EC, the diaper is no longer a full-time wearable toilet. Oh my goodness, whoever thought that was a good idea? It is now a backup for when you miss each other. The reality is that all babies over all of human history were pottied, so get over your fears and just do it. This is tough love. Seriously, all babies for all of human history. Whether you know where to begin or not, know that billions, billions, billions have gone before you. And the last part, name it. This is just a little something I learned in grad school at Pacifica Graduate Institute for Psychology. By naming something that has been tripping you up, you bring that something into the conscious mind. It's like shining a light on the shadow in the darkness. When you name whatever stumbling block you've had or currently have, it brings it to the conscious mind where it can no longer control you and wreak havoc on your best laid plan. So take a moment and name which one of the blocks I've shared today is yours. Yell it out loud right now or whisper it if your baby's asleep. Or is there a block that I've missed that you know you're aware of? Say that right now. Or write it down to diffuse its powers over you and diffuse it and to allow you to take that diaper off. There, you've begun. More specifically, here are some specific ways to begin EC after you've bravely taken off the diaper and begun. First one is decode your baby. What does it mean when your baby cries? Potty time is part of that. The need to go and the desire to not have to do it on themselves. This is so primal and important for us parents to tune into. I want you to look up Dunstan baby language on YouTube and you'll see the cry for discomfort. That is the closest to a potty signal that I've ever heard. Also, observation logging can only help. Download my observation log over at godiaperfree.com/86 and learn how to use it back on episode 83.5a, one of our guest posts. Learn baby signals and timing, which will inform you about when to take them to the potty. Worst case, start with one of the 4 easy catches and go from there if you don't want to do observation time. Or if observation time has yielded nothing, which I linked to a podcast we talk about if it yields nothing, what to do. Just take a look at the 4 easy catches. Number 1 is wake-ups. Number 2 is diaper changes. Number 3 is poops. Number 4 is ins and outs. I've got a podcast show, an episode, and a blog post on each of those, so just go to the show notes and click on those links. Pick one of those 4 easy catches and do it every day for a week. Then add another if you wish. See how it goes. This is probably the easiest way to build confidence and habits around when to potty your baby because you are changing your habits. And the last thing I want to say about specific approaches to starting EC is just get really good at EC. You could do well to learn the big picture and all the necessary details of starting and doing EC day to day with my popular book on EC, Go Diaper Free. It's at godiaperfree.com/thebook, or go to the show notes and click that link. If you want to skip the entire learning curve, this is your best bet. And if you add on my newborn mini course, if you're in the 0 to 12 week age range, you'll get lots of visuals on exactly how to hold that precious, fragile little baby. Okay, so that's all I have to say. See the written version of this podcast over at godiaperfree.com/86. I have sourdough bread in the oven, so I'm going to run. Head over and let me know, and I'll pop back at you after you comment. Have you been waiting to start EC, and are you pumped to turn this podcast off and take off that diaper? I'll see you over there. Until next time, when we revisit Storytime with potty stories from Indigenous peoples of Asia. Yay! Happy pottying, y'all. Till then, I'm Andrea Olson, and you've been listening to the Go Diaper Free podcast at godiaperfree.com. I'll see you next time. Okay, that was it. I gotta go get my buns out of the oven. Thank you so much. Please click the bell, hit the bell, subscribe, all that stuff. I'm going to have more videos that are not podcast readings soon. I've just, we got kids at home, schooling them, all this fun stuff that's going on right now in the world. But yeah, if there's anything you want me to make a video specifically about, please comment below with that. I would love to see that. Hit like if you like this, share it if you would like to, and I will see you next time. Take care.